What the fuck was that? X? What is that? X? What am I? Examine.
Sorry, girls.
Merry Christmas. Spelled wrong. Completely spelled wrong. Now, hold on a second here. Hold on. When I was a kid, all right, and I was going to make Christmas cards, which I did. I always made Christmas cards for the whole family. It would be a point that I spell it right. That's the whole point. Is like you're learning to spell while you make Christmas cards. So the parents would say, here's how you spell Merry. Here's how you spell Christmas. Memorize this, you know. Why would you let your kid completely misspell Merry Christmas on the Christmas card that they make? So your kid gets stupider because they're making Christmas cards misspelled and you don't correct them so they learn? Like, why? Like, seriously. I'd be like, if the kid was writing and spelled it wrong, I'd be like, okay, now let's start over. Let's spell it right now. Look how bad that is. I mean, Mary is missing an R. Christmas is missing an H and a T. Like, the whole idea is keep Christ in Christmas. There's not even the word Christ in Christmas, so how could you... Yikes.
Look at this. Why are all these backwards?
It's supposed to be cute.
You think ignorance is cute? Well, I suppose you think mental retardation is downright adorable.
Okay, a genuine question, because I really don't understand this. Have you guys even heard of this place, Papa Murphy's? So Papa Murphy's, you go to the store. You say, I want a pizza. You pay for the pizza. They give you the pizza, but they didn't cook it. It's just a raw pizza. And then you take it home and you bake the pizza at home. I don't get it. I totally don't get it. Like, they didn't make it. You paid them as if they did. Like, you pay them top dollar for their pizza, like they made the pizza for you, but you can't eat it yet because it's not cooked. You then have to go home and you have to cook it yourself. So what did you pay for? I don't understand at all. Like, I can understand if this was like a grocery store and they make them once a day in the morning and you just want a quick meal. So you go to the grocery store, since you're shopping already, like, I'll just grab this and I'll warm it up at home. It'll be a quick dinner for the family. But I don't know why anyone would go to the building of Papa Murphy's that's supposed to be a restaurant and buy uncooked food. Right? That is very confusing. What's up, Game Boy? How you doing? Anyway, I really don't get it. I just don't get it. Why would you buy this, ever? Like I said, the one thing I would understand, so you're at the grocery store, you're already shopping for groceries, and you're like, oh, I need to get a quick dinner for my family tonight, right? So let me go ahead and grab this, and when I get home, I'll, toss it in the oven fast, and that's dinner for us. That I can understand. But you're not getting, super high quality. And by the way, those pizzas usually at the grocery store aren't that expensive. Like, you get a giant one for like maybe like 10, 20 dollars, 10, 12 bucks. In this case, $13.99 for a cheesy large pizza, but I don't get it. I just don't. I don't understand it whatsoever. It confuses me. So I never have eaten from there, nor do I think I ever would. I will say this. I do think at some point in 2026, all right, listen to this. I think I do want to try a Papa Murphy's pizza. I don't understand why I ever would. It just seems like pretty shitty. Ellipsian says, well, the pizza would be hot when you bake it. No, Ellipsian, I get it, but the point I'm making is you're paying them as if they made the food for you, but you have to make it yourself. You have to go home and then bake it yourself. So then it should be cheaper because they didn't do the labor. The labor of putting it in the oven, cooking it, and then packaging it and giving it to you cooked. They didn't do that labor. So why are you paying $14 for a pizza they didn't even cook? It seems like there's something missing in the process. Like, for example, if it was like, if Papa Murphy's was cheap, like let's say you get a large pizza at Papa Murphy's for like $6, $7, I'd be like, makes sense, it's a discount place. You go there, you bring it home, you're cooking, it's cheap, but it's actually like full price. You can get a large pizza at any of the other places like Domino's, Pizza Hut, Papa John's for $14. So I don't get it. Bizarre. Anyway, I don't get it. Okay, did I get a lot of ads with jingles? Again, I don't know, Derek, because I very basically skimmed through a lot, and it just looked like a legit ad that was something that wasn't, you know, risque or offensive. I added it. Like, there were a couple ads that were offensive. I was shocked they were real. I thought they were parody ads. No, this is real. And this ad is, like, very racially fucked up. I saw a few. There was one. All right, I'm just going to tell you what they are, because if we play them, I'd probably get in trouble. There was one with two, like, African tribesmen, okay? And they're, like, walking out in the Serengeti together, having a conversation, a casual conversation. And all of a sudden, they run into a lion. And the lion is smacking his lips like he wants to eat them. So one of the African tribesmen reaches into a bag that he has with him, and he pulls out a pair of, like, sports sneakers. I'm not sure what brand they were, but he pulls out, like, these sports sneakers, and he very slowly puts them on. And the other tribesman turns to him and says, "What are you doing? Do you think you can outrun the lion?" And he turns to him and he goes, "No, but I can outrun you." And then he runs away, leaving the other guy behind, and he gets eaten by the lion, and that's the ad.
Yeah, you've never heard of this fucking joke? It's like one of the oldest jokes ever, dude.
And I was like, what the fuck? It was a real ad. And I watched it, I was like, you don't think that's racist? You don't. Well, if you don't, good for you.
That's not racist. How is that racist? It's two tribes members that outrun a lion, and one of them can't outrun it, so he dies. And the other one has cooler sneakers, so he can run faster. And that's the point, right?
Messing with that shit.
How is it racist?
That shit, you know? That's just like, I couldn't believe it. I was watching, I was like, what the fuck? I can't believe that was in the ad. It was like a ton of stereotypical things about African tribesmen being eaten by lions and shit, and then they think that putting on shoes makes them faster. I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, dude. You know what I actually think? Here's when I lose interest in a show, is when the core focus of the show is lost. So, for example, with The Walking Dead, from the very beginning of The Walking Dead, the whole idea was everyone is infected and everyone's eventually going to turn into a zombie. But the underlying question was always, why? Is it an illness or a plague? Is it something genetic? Is it something spiritual or supernatural? Right? Is it alien? What is causing this? And even though the show went crazy in different directions, you always felt like eventually they'd get back to it. They never do. Like, I don't care about the fucking human drama of every human left on Earth. I just want what actually caused it. Get to the point. Eventually, you've got to solve the underlying question of the premise of the series. And the fact that they forgot about it, it's like, well, then I forgot about you. I don't care about your show then. Basically, what you're saying is you will end.
No, zombie stories are usually not about how the virus started. Yes, it is an interesting piece of information. I'm glad that that Last of Us did explain it, but usually it's about the people and what happens when the world ends. It's usually not about the zombies themselves. Sometimes, you know, they'll focus on it for a little bit, but it's about the people in the story.
Endlessly run your show, wasting my time, never with a payoff at the end, because you just want to milk the show so you can keep getting more ratings and money, rather than caring about the person watching on the other end who deserves answers.
People who think the virus origin in The Walking Dead is important have severe cases of media illiteracy. It's a story about societal structures the zombies are set dressing. Exactly. You said it better than I was saying it.
Best family game. We had Donkey Kong Bonanza, Lego Party, Lego Voyagers, Mario Kart World, Sonic Racing Crossworlds, and Split Fiction. See, I didn't play these Lego games, so I don't know if they're good or not. Like, is Donkey Kong Bonanza is a family game? Is it? What's family about it?
I'll read the category for you because he can't. Family games are the best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform. I think that's pretty appropriate for family play, don't you think, Philip? But anyway,
It's a single player game. Is there even a multiplayer component to Donkey Kong Bonanza? So how do you play it with your family? Like, every other one of those games is co-op, right? I guess because it's meant for kids. See, here's the thing. Someone just says, well, maybe they mean family friendly. Yeah, but that's not what the category says. It's not best family friendly. It's best family. If you can't even play the game with your family, how is it a best family game? I'm kind of lost, right? When Mike Klum and I were talking about doing a documentary, okay? One of the segments that he 100% was adamant about doing, okay, was he wanted to have a day with Phil. And what he wanted to do, he wanted to follow me around and see what I did on a day. And I said, well, on an average day, it's boring. I get up and I have my breakfast. I'm streaming all day. Like, that's going to be a super boring thing. He goes, so what we want to do is we want to have a day that's like not you streaming. So what would you do on a day off? I was like, so you want to follow me to the grocery store? Yeah. You want to follow me to the grocery store and watch me shop for groceries? Yes, this would be fascinating content. Why? What are you talking about? Like, huh? You want to watch me go to the pet store and buy like litter and look at animals in the pet store for, yes. What? I don't get it. 1,000,000% confused. I didn't understand it. But he was insistent. This is the kind of content people would want to see that you're a real person and to see that you do things off of. I was like, yes, I'm a real person. Do you think I'm a fucking robot with a mask on? I do normal things. I act like a normal dude, just like everybody else on Earth. You know, on my day off, I'm supposed to be trying to spend time with my wife and stuff. You know, like I said, half the day I'm fucking grocery shopping and shit. Instead, I'm in this office for 2 hours.
Pause. The claim that half the day you are grocery shopping. How is this possible? That it takes half a day to do groceries, bro? Like, how far away is the grocery store?
No, well, first I got to make the shopping list with my wife. That could take upwards of 30 to 40 minutes because you got to figure out meals for every day. You got to figure out the ingredients for each meal. You got to figure out, you know, all that shit. What's that we're out of in the house for that week? It could take upwards of a half an hour or more just to make the grocery list. That's true. So you got to make the list, and you got to actually drive there. You got to do the shopping. And
how long is, okay, so we have 40 minutes for the list.
Yes.
Okay. Then we have, how long is it? 20 minutes to Costco, 30 minutes?
About I'd say about 15 minutes to get there, and then probably about a half an hour to 40 minutes inside, depending, and then another 15 minutes to get home. So that's an hour just for the shopping. And then you got to unpack, you got to clean the vegetables, you got to bag the bread, you got to freeze certain things, you got to put things away. That's probably about another half hour to 45 minutes. So realistically, on my day off, it's probably around 3 or more hours just for the grocery shopping.
There's no way it takes 3 hours for you to go grocery shopping.
Well, that's fascinating. That would humanize you, and you should show the world. Why? Why do I need to show that to the world? Why do I give a fuck? Right? Like, it baffled me. Okay? Why in the holy hell does it matter where I go and how I grocery shop? Why do you even need to see that? Isn't that considered intrusive to like someone's life that you want to be like? How bizarre is that? So I'm so fascinated with Darkside Phil, an internet gamer and content creator, that I want to go see him, you know, go to the dump and throw bags of trash into the dump. What? I think that says more about these weirdo viewers on the internet than me. Like, I'm a normal guy. I just don't understand at all why people want to be so fucking intrusive to my life and care about this stuff. Like, it has nothing to do with you. It's none of your fucking business to begin with, right? This is just bizarre to me, you know? So here we go. Let's open the first bar. Mr. Beast Bar milk chocolate made with made with grass-fed milk. Literally says it on the front, okay? So what does it look like? On the very top of the bar, it says share and it has a small snap-off piece. And at the very bottom, it's a giant chunk that says devour at the bottom. So basically, I know it's supposed to be a joke, but that's kind of mean-spirited. Share, give you this tiny piece while I keep the giant portion at the bottom. Wow, that's a really fun, positive-spirited candy bar, isn't it? Especially because you have to understand that someone like Mr. Beast appeals to kids. And probably kids are the vast majority of people who watch this stuff on YouTube. And you're teaching the kid, if you're going to share, only share this tiny top portion with everyone else and keep the rest for yourself. It's a good moral lesson to teach to people, right? I'm sure he came up with that idea too. So, today is the launch day of a huge game. Pretty much the biggest release of the year so far, correct? I mean, I don't think there's been a single game that's come out in 2024 with as much hype behind it as Rebirth. I got my border up for Final Fantasy. I got my Cloud Strife wig ready to go. That's right, I'm not kidding you. Someone purchased me a supposed Cloud Strife cosplay wig for this event. This is how it came. This is actually it. Yeah, this. That's a Cloud Strife wig. It didn't come in any other box. It didn't come in another bag. It literally showed up on my doorstep, just sitting there like this in this bag. Would you like to see it? Wow, it looks just like him. I mean, I don't think you could be any closer to the real Cloud Strife. Anyway, by the way, it came with this. I think this is a hairnet. I think if you have, like, messed up hair or, like, weird hair, you put on the hairnet so it doesn't interfere with the wig or something like that. I received a $1 tip from Sarah. Can you try brushing and styling the wig before you put it on? It looked good in that wig with a little bit of styling. What are you talking about? Brushing and styling. Who do you think you're talking to? This is not Metrosexual Phil Gaming. This is DSPgaming. I mean, do you think I own Hairspray? Do you think I have a stylist's brush and comb set? Like, what are you talking about, man? Wow. No, I don't have that. Sorry. See, and there you go. Private All-Star hit it on the head. Well, Tifa has great tits. Well, that's all anyone says about Tifa. I mean it, like, seriously, that's all anyone fucking says about Tifa is about her physical appearance because her character development is terrible. She's a terrible character. And that's the thing. That was the idea that Square Enix had. Let's have a fucking... it's the first 3D Final Fantasy, so let's make one with a girl with big boobs. So that those edgy kids in the 90s will all come and buy the game. And you know what? It fucking worked. Final Fantasy VII was an insane bestseller. A lot of kids bought it for fucking Tifa. No exaggeration or lie. 100% that happened. I Kill Phil says, do you think Tifa and Lulu were the same character as far as design goes? They were definitely the two females with giant boobs put into the game for sexual appeal. Absolutely. Are they the same character? No, Lulu actually has a backstory that's kind of interesting, in my opinion, in Final Fantasy X. It's not a huge one, but she definitely has a backstory. All right. While Tifa is more like, well, I knew Cloud when he was young, and now I'm part of this rebel group for some odd reason, and that's it. And she's just thrown in there for fucking the purposes of sexual appeal. So, yes, Lulu did have a story in the side content of the game, but it wasn't extensive, right? It was very basic, but at least she had a story. You know what I mean? Like Tifa, I'm sorry, like we just played through all of Final Fantasy VII Remake. What exactly was her contribution to the game besides being a fighting companion in the game? Barrett was the leader of the Returners, right? Aerith was an ancient, right? Cloud was the protagonist, right? Okay, you think we see what I'm getting at? What did Tifa add exactly? Okay then. I guess I rest my case. Here we go again. Now everyone's defending Tifa. You're not going to win with this one. But Brazy Mamo cheered. He said, Tifa's the childhood friend of the main character and a good friend of Barrett, leader of Avalanche, and is out for revenge against Sephiroth for burning down Nibelheim. Have you played the original? I did. Remember that backstory for Tifa doesn't come into play until much later in the game. The better parts of the game, by the way. Anyone who'd ever played the original Final Fantasy VII and only played the remake doesn't even know that. Right? Because they don't explain anything. Like I said, at least if you're playing the remake, you're like, okay, I understand Barrett's role, pretty important. I understand Aerith's role, very important. You know, Red 13 is an interesting character because he's been experimented and captured on by Shinra. And then nothing. Tifa gets no story, right? So later on, much later on, she gets a story. And by the way, it's kind of glossed over and it's not focused on like a lot of the other stories in the game either. I'm just saying. Yes, I know, she has that one dramatic scene where it shows her father gets killed, and then she's out for revenge and all of that. But it's, you know what I mean? Like, still, she's a shallow character compared to everyone else.
A lot of FF7's main cast starts off pretty emotionally distant, like Cloud and Barrett, but not Tifa. Both games waste no time in introducing Tifa's personality. She's quickly established to be a dedicated, motherly, and caring childhood friend, who has no trouble defending herself either. It's hard to dislike such a loving and independent person. She's also so supportive of not only Cloud and the members of Avalanche, but everyone in Sector 7 as well. And while at first glance it seems like she has everything under control, it doesn't take long for the player to realize how much she's actually struggling. One of my favorite parts of Tifa's character writing is how quickly the game establishes that she's just like us, a human being.